On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Candace Owens said, this Me Too movement has created a climate where every man is guilty. And what I am saying is, if that is going to be the case, then men should take preventative measures. I'm not arguing with you guys about whether these things happen on a personal basis inside the home. I agree with you, mate.
But see,
I mean,
what you're missing in the conversation.
But see, we brought children into it.
With Candace Owens and these talking points with Me Too, and nobody is disputing that. That's not the issue. What I'm saying is that if you really want to do a deeper dive to solve for the problem, it's not whether or not you can walk down the aisle with a cashier. The deeper problem and the foundation of how we got here is not just based off of women empowerment, is all I'm saying. And I think that what happens in society is that we tend to then overcompensate, especially when it's not somebody that we're close to. And what we do is we tend to we're hypocritical as a society. We hold other people more accountable than we do the people that we truly already know is really happening in our own families. And that's why I thought that Kay made such a good point when she was saying be consistent across the board, because we're not. We're hypocritical. Right. And it's not just black people, it's not just white people, it's Jewish people that you love so much.
I do.
Asians that you really adore.
Don't forget the white people.
It's those good pure white people that you love, chaotic. I'm telling you that it's some demons in them households that get swept under the rug, and it's not something that we should just completely sweep over in order to be able to substantiate our point, because we like, you and I both like Candace Owens.
But I don't think he's sweeping it under the rug. Anton, you're right regarding your point, but there are also cases where women are lying and vice versa. So all those points y'all are saying are right. Like there's definitely cases out there regarding each of y'all's points. So I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that it's a lot of women lying. Absolutely. I do think it's a lot of women lying. 100%.
And just like there's a lot of women or men not coming forward, there's a lot of men not coming forward that they got beat on themselves, right? And just there's a lot of kids being touched. And I've worked in an abuse shelter, and I know that's definitely the case. Yeah. So in all these cases,
and there's I'm sorry, Q. I was agreeing with you to the point that there's a lot of men that are getting molested and won't say anything because, again, they're men, and so they have to hold the trope of "I'm a man, I'm good." Like even Anton, I know you want to agree or disagree with it, but your first sexual experience was molestation, and it was, and you didn't report it because. I don't know if it gave you some clout or kudos with the 11-year-olds, but it was. And a lot of those, they don't get reported. So and to Kay's point, I think that she is an advocate of trying to say men get molested too. These happen to boys, and you should say something. And then I think she also gets pushback. Well, I'm a boy, I'm a man, I'm a man. But if we're going to solve the problem, we have to realize or try to figure out a way of why is it not a safe space for people to say first that they were assaulted. We have to figure out why, when they do, are they really getting investigated? Why, when women say that they are assaulted and it becomes a lie, why aren't they prosecuted? I.e. Emmett Till. I'm still waiting on that 80-year-old woman to go to prison. But she's not, and she should. Why not?
Exactly.
So it's a lot of stuff that I think if we're going to take it serious and making it a safe space, make it safe for boys and girls to say this happened. And then also prosecute the parents that ain't saying nothing. If you know your child has been molested and you want to sweep it under the rug because it's Uncle Grady, then your ass need to go to jail too. So it's a lot of things that I think need to happen that hasn't been. People don't feel safe speaking out for whatever reason. And flip again, women do lie for whatever reason. But I think it's easier for women to tell a lie because they know that nothing happens to them.
That's a fact.
It's, oh, you lied, and then they get to go home.
They get a slap on the wrist, like Heard. Like, they don't get the same blowback if it was a man and he lost stuff. Like, I definitely believe that if women lie on certain circumstances, they should get the same result if that man was found guilty. Like, but that the system's effed up. I think the system is in favor of women. The court system's definitely in favor of women. But yeah.
Which is why I don't know if you remember a couple of weeks back when we were talking about like men being groped in the club and things like that. Like, and I was trying to explain, I'm like, yo, ain't nobody getting ready to go and press charges on this woman because she walked by, and that's just not. It's cops would probably laugh at us if we tried to do that.
Yeah,
brother.
That's true. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Your partners, everybody, like it just. Ain't that big a deal, you know what I mean? Like, in some people's head, it's just like, it ain't that big a deal. We'll just keep it pushing. But that's society. I'm not suggesting that it's right or wrong, but that's society right now. Like,
that is true.
Yo, listen, I think you know what the funny part about it is? I'll do you one better. Months ago, I said on this very platform, do not go into a woman's hotel room that you do not know, that is not your wife. I don't care how close she is to you. And I got so much pushback on this panel.
Oh, you meant family too.
I got so much pushback on this panel. I said, do not go into a woman's hotel room unless you know that this is something that you're really trying to, like, I got so much pushback and heat on this panel. Now, after the Amber Heard trial, they're like, you know what? We forgot about that, Anton.
No, I didn't forget that. No, you even said, even if you're friends with this person and your wife knows her, do not go up in the hotel room.
Hey, hold on, Q. Hey, never mind. Go ahead. You good?
Go ahead.
I said
I was giving him pushback. I can definitely say that because I have friends that
it in the chat came after me. They said, Anton, you wrong, you off, and all of this other type of stuff. But okay. See, I don't forget. I just pay attention. What if you know them? What if you their best friend and all of this other type of stuff? That conversation is going a little bit different now, ain't it?
No, because that's what I said. I definitely said if it's I have 2 male friends that have wives and I know their wives. And you was like, you should never go to a couple's hotel room. What? I've done it before. I've hung out with them. Me and my friends that work with them, we've hung out with them.
Yeah. Well, and it
was.
Wait,
hold on. What's last thing, Courtney? Anton, if you read her in town in Houston and you say, hey, Q, I'm in town.
Do not. I'm going to say the same thing I'm going to say that I said back then. Do not go to anybody's hotel room. Do not, I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Do not go to somebody's hotel room.
But y'all go to women's houses.
Well, Anton said that. Let's give the context because you said that men will be expecting something to pop off. So if you go to a hotel room, friend or not, cool associate, it's going to pop off. Now, in the context that we're talking about now in the MeToo, I would suggest you give that advice to the men because I think before you was giving it to the women. So to the men in the MeToo, if you don't know her, she ain't your boo thing, wife thing, whatever thing, then going to a woman's hotel room can get you MeToo.
Yeah, like I'm sitting here thinking about like even before I was married, like, yeah, I wasn't really going to chicks' hotel rooms or going to their houses unless I had plans on clapping cheeks. Like this was understood before I even got in the car to drive myself over there. You know what I'm saying? And if there was a woman that like I had to go and see at a hotel. We mean in the lobby. If I know I'm not clapping cheeks or this is not that type of relationship or whatever, got a whole lobby sitting right here. Why would I even put myself out there, right? Like, I also move with the mindset, like, protect yourself at all times, right? On all kinds of levels. I think like that. Like, I don't know, I'm vigilant like that. So like, kind of to the point of what Chaotic was talking about before, where he was like, you know, don't get onto the elevator and da 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 da. I'm not thinking more like that. I'm thinking more like, where are there cameras around? That way I can always make sure I have something to back me up. You know what I'm saying? Because I know shit is possible. I'm not going to the point where I'm completely changing my whole life because I don't want to be me too, but I'm very vigilant. I'm very cautious. All right, there's cameras there. Like, she can say whatever she want, and I know damn well these cameras.
You got evidence. Yeah,
I think Chaotic be doing the extreme, because when he said men shouldn't be teachers,
there needs to be more men.
Is the whole principle. So now men can't teach. No, it's you take precautions, but men need to be we need more men teaching.
No,
but not only that, Chaotic. There's a lot of women teachers doing stuff with kids. I see
no. It's
more women teachers doing stuff with kids than men teachers being found out. So
can I address that for a minute, Courtney? Courtney, your brother may be an excellent principal, and Island Gal Q, you are correct in what you said, but that's because the teaching field is dominated by women. It's like 85%. But what I am seeing in this society now is that you, as a man, they will build a prison for you if a kid makes a false allegation or something happens. And what I'm saying is that take the precautionary measures. If you are a boy out there listening to me, 18, 19, 20, 21, see, this isn't for old people like us. See, we're already set in our ways. We're old dogs on this panel. I'm talking about you young kids. If you are a boy listening to me, do not go into education. There's no divine duty for you to help anybody other than yourself. Go into trucking, go into a space where there's no women because of what is happening now. And what I'm saying, I'm telling you, man, if what Anton and them are saying is true, supposedly, then you don't have a Chinaman's chance. You don't, and that's the truth. Because of what these people are saying is
Chinaman's chance.
Yeah, you don't have a Chinaman's chance. And so what I'm saying is that, yes, Courtney's brother probably is a principal. I mean, is a principal. I'm not going to say probably. I believe her. But listen, if what they're saying is true, somebody could just say something about you, and that's that. So at least you can go into a field where it's dominated by men. Trucking is one of them. Something. But
so again, what do you think that will do
to them kids?
Hold on. We already have a
lack care of your own damn kids. That's what I say.
We already have a lack thereof educated as far as with men. So with men not educating, especially with these little boys that don't have dads, that need some kind of masculinity in their life, what do you think that's going to do to the school system or kids? Nothing.
Listen, I taught for years in the public schools. I have come to the realization when I look in that mirror, that person reflecting back at me is the only person who cares about me. At the end of the day, my mom and my dad can say that they love me. I just saw them the other day, and my dad said, "I love you," and I said, "Okay." Here goes the thing: you have to protect yourself as a man. Nobody cares about you. And what I am telling you is that there are men in the penitentiary right now. There are men in the grave right now that have been.
You love you. You said
okay.
There have been men that have been falsely accused of things, and I am telling you, man, there are preventive measures. Do not go into teaching. In America, at least. It's no point. First of all, the public schools are like hell every day. And then you have a situation where people on this panel are even saying that the majority of these kids live in these fucked up households. They come to school with this fucked up mindset, and you never know what type of position you're putting yourself into as a mentor to these kids.
You know what, Chaotic?
You might as well tell people, tell men, Chaotic, tell men not to date because it was Amber Heard that's doing this to Johnny Depp. So tell men don't date women.
You know what's so
funny? Let's just go that route.
Okay, Courtney, how about this?
Men don't be around women, period.
Courtney, what I would tell young men is this, and a lot of men in the red pill and the man in MGTOW are doing this. If you have to date a foreign woman, a woman who is not from America, because this Me Too shit has, like, I'm telling you, it literally, I have seen ugly females. I mean, hideous. He harassed me, girl. I have seen it firsthand. I have seen the attitude. This Me Too thing, it's like a virus or something.
Hold on, chaotic. Let me bring it full circle for you on the real though, on some real type stuff. I don't know if anybody else has seen this, but back when the pandemic hit and everybody had to stay home, one of the things that I read, and one of the biggest things that officials were concerned about, is the things that happen inside of people's households while they were cooped up in that house, and that nobody had any kind of visibility into what was really happening, and the kids didn't have any kind of protection, or they didn't have any kind of outlet to get away from what was happening. I don't know if anybody else read that, but that was one of the biggest things that I read during the pandemic, is that kids were basically prisoners in their own household based off of what was happening in their households, hidden, that nobody was aware of. I don't know if you was familiar with that, or if you missed that, but I'm telling you, that was a thing. You can literally go back and research it and Google it. It's happening at a crazy level, bro. I'm telling you, it's real.
A lot of divorces happened during the pandemic also, so that should show reason why.
I'm telling you, bro,
it's violence went up.
Big deal. Nobody, it's kind of like the biggest open secret that nobody really talks about, but it's real.
Yeah, but chaotic, to your point of you saying not women, men shouldn't be teachers, are you going to tell men not to be doctors? Because they're surrounded by women nurses every single day.
I am friends with doctors right now, and listen, you guys know this if you know about the medical field. They have to have nurses present in rooms and all types of things when they're dealing with female patients. A good thing about a hospital, there are cameras everywhere, so you don't have to really worry about a nurse. But what I'm saying is this: if there are no other men around, do not be alone with a woman. It's even if you're a doctor, but I would never tell a man not to be a doctor.
Would you tell him not to be a teacher?
A teacher is in a classroom by themselves. A doctor is.
Doctors are by themselves too. And
teachers are in a classroom with dozens of other students.
You know what I find? You know what I find fascinating? I will sit here for 20-30 minutes and I will be quiet and listen to everybody talk. As soon as something comes out of my beautiful mouth, people have to cut me the fuck off. I sit here and I'm
I honestly don't understand. I don't care. I really don't care though.
And then when
you'll get over it.
Wait a minute.
Taylor, you literally had a 30-minute monologue.
No, I did not.
Taylor ate popcorn.
Courtney,
hold on.
I ate my entire bag of popcorn while he did that fucking monologue.
I literally in the back chat was like, he out here giving I have a dream speech.
The whole thing.
Wait, ladies.
That's how long you were going.
All I hear
ladies. 1 second. And shout out to OG. I see you here. And so this is what I want to say, just really quick.
Not really with the headphones in now.
Yeah, because I feel like if I'm talking over my computer, for some reason y'all can't hear me. But I feel like y'all can hear me a little bit better when I come in this way.
Yeah, it's loud.
I'm let me say this. Like, if you don't turn that computer down.
I hear you. So let me say this, because I respect chaotic opinions and maybe his position when he says, he doesn't advise men to go into teaching. I'm gonna also say I respectfully 110 million thousand motherfucking % disagree. Right, and no disrespect to you. But I know Mr. Jones down there at Lake City Elementary. I know what it meant for me to walk in with my boys, taking them to school, dropping them off, and to be able to have conversations with him. But I also know what he meant to my boys, for them to see a reflection of themselves in him at that school and have him instructing them. I also know what it means to this day. My grammar school gym teacher, Mr. Stubbs, right? We got stories, but I know what these male teachers in the schools mean to black boys. Mr. McGee at VV. I know what it meant for us to see a black man carry himself a certain way in a suit, clean to the nines, driving a Benzo. How a teacher in Chicago public schools could afford a Benzo, I never asked that question, but we respected the hustle, right? And so I understand what you're saying in part, and I do get your frustration, but I also think that's an extreme. And I'm very, very, very protective of the messaging that we give to our audience over here. And so I would say, not to discredit anything that you said, but I would say for the audience that part of your message resonated with them, I would highly encourage them to, follow your page and your show for more content. For me over here, I'm going to advocate of us all, men, women, everybody got to assume responsibility. Everybody is a part of this unwritten, unspoken social contract. And so everybody has an equal investment in this community in order for us to get out of this rut that we in order for us to become more successful and more better so that we can compete and build our own Montessori's and Jesuit Jesuit schools and so on and so forth, right? Like that's an option. There, we could do it like chaotic. Would you be opposed to men teaching in an all-boys school?
I will say this and I will say it again, and I have made videos about it on my channel, man.
Mm-hmm. I'll go watch them.
In this day and age, a man, a black man especially, should worry about himself and himself alone and his future. If you are around kids, you are putting yourself in absolute danger, because from out the very words of Anton, his mouth said, he said 33% of adults.
I guess.
Okay, but 33%. So I would assume that that 33% could be teachers and other people alike. So what I'm saying as a man who has been in schools, who have seen the undermining and the degradation of male teachers by female teachers, administrators, etc. The first way that you can fix the problem first in the black community is start telling black men, take care of your own damn kids and teach your own damn kids. That's what you have to do instead of building these programs and, oh yeah, Mr. Curtis, he has a binge. And I'm not saying you talk like that, Rilla, but oh yeah, he has a binge and he wears a suit. No, his father should wear a suit. His father should drive a Benz. His father should teach him, preferably homeschool. And so what I'm saying is, again, if this Me Too movement is what it is, a man can get accused of something and it doesn't have to be any facts or evidence. And that can destroy his reputation. Stay away from kids. Stay away from women you don't know.
Wait,
hold on a second.
Wait, hold on, Kayla. Just really quick. I want you to get the HU in there. I do want you to get the HU perspective in there. I apologize. Please forgive me. Give me grace, Kayla. Listen, so you saying, again, and I'm gonna use Anton's word. So these communities that you adore that have these schools that are all male, are you saying all males or just black male in particular should not pursue teaching? Because here's the other challenge that you run into. Mm-hmm. The conversation that we have in the spaces is around the female influence. Now, if kids spend like 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day in school being influenced by women, does that not contribute to, if not exacerbates, the problem that we continue to rail against?
Rilla, when America embraces the patriarchy again, when the rule of Christian law is brought back, then yes, I would suggest that men teach. But when you have these busy females that occupy these spaces that are teaching these children and all of this, you're setting this society up for failure, which we see now. So if you are a man and you want to teach, go to Qatar, go to Saudi Arabia, go to a conservative country where first the kids care about you, where a country where there are rules and guidelines on behavior and dress and communication, etc. But if you are a man in this society in America now, just in my opinion, and this may be a bit of an extreme. If you are a single man, and this is why I say for 18, 19, 21-year-old boys, go MGTOW. ghost. Do whatever you have to do to build yourself up. Don't go on dates by yourself with these chicks and these American chicks. Get you a foreign chick or something.
Are you done yet?
No, he's still on a monologue.
I'm sorry, Kayla. Go ahead, Kayla. You want to ask me something, Kayla? It's a little
yeah, I was waiting.
What
for
do you want to
done.
ask me, Kayla? Go ahead.
I was trying to think. Should I go a popcorn or what? So it's just honestly, it's just so disgusting to me how you want to say the main problem is that the solution is that men need to worry about themselves. And not once tonight have I heard the solution is that men need to hold other men. Well, Tom spoke on it a little bit, but men need to hold other men accountable for their behavior. It's not that you need to stay away from children. You need to learn how to fucking act. You need to learn how to control yourself. You need to learn how to stop this devious ass behavior. That is the issue in the community, not to stay away from children and isolate myself and only worry about myself, as if half the black men are out here that are really doing shit would even be there if it wasn't for somebody there along the journey giving them that encouragement, whether it was a black teacher, a male teacher or not. But I'm sure if it was, that would have contributed. So I just think that it's just like really crazy. A lot of the stuff have you said tonight has been completely trash. It's been ignorant. It's been it's been perplexing how you are sold out to it too. I just don't understand. It's really crazy. I don't know if it's because we don't wear comfortable clothes or what, but this perspective is highly offensive to our people, to our community. And it really is dangerous and going in the opposite direction of progression.
Well, Kayla, can I respond to you now?
I don't know if I'm interested.
Your Jezebel nature is the
so
reason.
We're not going to do that, chaotic. That's what we're not going to do.
No,
if you
Jezebel,
can't learn to actually
and
respond
I'm going to call you what
points,
you are.
You don't have actual points. The first thing that you go to is name calling because you're weak as fuck.
Jezebel,
and weak people need to go for name calling instead of having an actual argument.
No, it's not name calling you. I'm calling you what you are. You're a Jezebel.
That's what that is. It's really weak. It's really weak because literally the first thing you say is a name call. Are you 15?
Okay.
Are you a conservative woman? The ghetto video that we watched earlier, you're no better
with your cleavage out right now.
You're honestly no better. It's really
disgusting. Are you a conservative woman? You're a Jezebel, and that's not name calling you. I rock.
Are you? You are honestly. You are really ridiculous as fuck right now. Kayla, no, I'm not about to let you talk. No, you're not about to do any more talking.
Kayla,
no, I don't.
You out of Kayla, out of your own mouth.
Absolutely,
you just said men need to control themselves.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give two fucks,
guys. In the chat, guys on the panel.
You really are.
Am I not mistaken? Did this woman?
As I've made one with supporting facts.
Did this woman not just say men need to control themselves? She's accusing men right off the bat. Am I not hearing her?
Sad.
You're literally
like a child.
Kayla,
you look like a kid and an adult all in one.
You have literally,
it's really sad.
Kayla, out of your own mouth, you literally just said,
when you get in the car?
Kayla,
I don't know if they do. Are they touching the ground now?
Out of your own,
can they reach?
Kayla, out of your own mouth.
I just want to know,
Kayla. Out of your own mouth.
Are you going to answer the question?
Hey, let me jump in. Hey, I'm gonna just jump in real quick because y'all gonna go back and forth. And so what Kayla is saying is true, because if we're going off of the numbers, what we just talked about with Anton, and like I said, this was Anton's, he just guessed that number, right? He said a third, right? We said 33%, right? And then you broke that all the way down to like 6 million men, 6 million black men, right? That's still a number of people that we're saying need to control themselves, right? To suggest otherwise is kind of foolish, right? We know that some of this shit is happening. Like, even if chaotic, I'll play with you. Even if you said that, even if this was happening at 3% of our entire population, or 1%, whoever that 1% is, they need to control themselves, right? And I think that's all what she's saying.
that's what we should be promoting, not just staying away from kids.
I'm promoting
not teaching and not.
You are not a man, Kate,
because of proximity to women and children. It's really ridiculous. Like, are you an animal?
Yeah,
are you an animal that can't? For someone that's so plight on dressing the part and blah 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 blah, I'm trying to understand how you cannot learn and teach and promote people conducting themselves as such versus savaging and taking advantage, touching people without their consent, and acting like they're an animal that can't literally be around other people without doing something salacious.
Kayla, men are being falsely accused. So that's
men
why
are not being falsely accused in any amount of a rate that's worth this.
Kayla, you've never been a teacher like me.
The numbers don't support it.
Kayla,
it's not the majority, it's the minority.
Kayla,
and it's really not. It's really not as severe as the real issues that
your
are
mouth
here.
is the reason why I tell 18, 19, and 20-year-old boys to divest of foreign women
and kidnap into trafficking.
You want to combat with me like a Jezebel.
I don't care about
listen to male authority. You don't have Christian values.
I'm here to make my point. So whether you are talking or not, I don't care.
Chaotic.
Chaotic. Go ahead, Courtney. Go ahead.
Chaotic.
Go ahead. Let me hear from the lighter, complex woman who's
Stop. I have a couple questions for you. So, and I think what Kayla is saying is that you're not addressing the problem because they are men that sexually assault women. It's a sickness. There are sick men. But what you're saying is the solution is for men to run away so they don't get falsely accused instead of fixing the issue of what we need to do with these sick men. So if you're going to say that, would you also say that the women that have been literally sexually assaulted, it's been real, that those women should now stay away from men? Because they had that situation, they should run from men, shouldn't be working with men because they might get sexually assaulted again. They shouldn't work in a male-dominated field. If you're saying that for men, are you also saying that for women?
Am I speaking Mandarin or something?
No, I just want you to answer that. You just answer this.
I am
strong
saying
aroma of bullshit, savory too.
I am saying that we live in a climate, clearly, where men can be accused of anything. Literally on this panel, the women, not all of them, are saying that men are committing these acts, which I don't agree with at the percentage level. So what I am saying is take the precautions. Don't be around drunk women. Don't be around Jezebels. Don't be around women when they are acting a certain way. Don't be around children. Don't be in any position where somebody can falsely accuse you of something, because men have been falsely accused. Maybe I have to talk like I'm talking to a first grader.
Basically, you're saying don't leave your house. You sound fucking ridiculous.
I am saying,
there's nowhere that you can go. You can't even go to the grocery store,
Kayla,
without being around women.
I am adamant,
men can't
Kayla,
go and shop.
Now
let me not go down the aisle where there's a woman to get my damn bread because there's a woman on that aisle. Like, get the fuck out.
Yes.
Dumb shit.
Do not go to a cashier.
It's ridiculous.
Kayla, why does that bother you that I'm telling men?
It's ridiculous.
Kayla, you're not a man.
It's
why
ridiculous.
does that bother you that I'm telling men not to go down an aisle with a woman cashier because there might be a potential?
You sound idiotic and
Kayla,
let me get OJ.
Wait, can I say something first? Can I say something? Can I say something first, real quick?
Go ahead, Kim,
I think, of course, I understand where Chaotic's coming from. He might be taking it to the extreme, but in today's society, just like us women, we take precautions when we go out. Well, you should take precautions when we go out, or we might encounter a man on a date. You might send your friend his name, his number, and stuff like that. And you're not supposed to go to strangers' places by yourself. In today's society, men should be doing the same thing. I mean, I wouldn't avoid a woman in the grocery line, but in today's society, men should definitely be careful on how they're moving, because a woman can say anything and it can mess up your whole reputation. So of course he's taken to the far extreme, but on that point, he's right. I would want my brother to be very careful on what he's doing or who he's around, because we see these women that can lie or just say something and it messes up the whole men's reputation. Yeah. So Chaotic is not saying that there are women, all women are lying. He's not saying that women need to do this. He's saying that today he's taking extreme, but men do need to check themselves and be like, hey, you know, I'm going out with this woman, you know, homeboy, I'm going out with this woman. We're going here, because anything could happen. I was reading a story where a woman set up a man in Houston off a dating website and got him robbed. So he is definitely right regarding men.
And I know women that have gone on dates.
Kayla, it's not about women.
Off the dating websites
Linda,
and have been date raped via their drink, their
Kayla,
food.
listen, Kayla, you always want to
say, I can say
Kayla, but of course, we always do that shit. Why do women do that?
Because chaotic.
Wait, hold on a second, Quest. Hold on a second. Why do women do that? I always know women and do. Okay, we're not talking about women right now. As I just said, if you were listening, there are women that do that. That we're more precautious when we're going out with men. That happens with us. We're definitely, but he's just saying men should be more precautious and put themselves in environments where they know women can't do something for them to fuck up their future. Right, that's all he's saying.
Correct. And him saying that doesn't mean Kayla is incorrect.
Exactly.
And Kayla, hold on. And Kayla, you saying what you've been saying doesn't mean that Chaotic is incorrect. You guys are both correct. I do think Chaotic is stretching it. I'm not worried about no fucking cashier. But to the same sentence, I mean, to the same point that I made earlier, I am looking like, all right, there's cameras here. I know I'm straight. I move like that. I'm vigilant like that, right? So it is a bit extreme. Can't walk down the same fucking grocery store aisle. But am I still vigilant though? Where I'm like, all right, I'm always aware about shit like that. So he's not wrong, and that also doesn't mean that. Oh, I'm sorry. He's not wrong, and it doesn't mean that you're right versus one back. You guys are both right.
I got you.
You guys are both right.
Okay.
Let me get OG in here. I'm only taking this call. Go ahead, OG.
Hi, OG.
Hi. How's everybody doing? Mr. JR, I'm going to just say Chicago with my brother next to him. And I'm going to say Chaotic, Sometime True, Quest, Mr. Anton, Daniels, Kate, Alan, Courtney, and Kayla. I've been listening to the conversation. And one thing I found out about this conversation, y'all been having conversations inside of this conversation. There's a multitude of issues y'all been talking about. And I think that's how it's getting twisted. I understand Kate. This is the business I'm in. I'm in the business of taking some of the people who've been abused, used, either themselves or others. And I can tell you on this panel right now, probably in my numbers, 3 out of the 8 people on this panel been molested, assaulted, or know somebody who's close to them. And I mean sister, brother, mother. That's what I mean when I say close to you. I looked at the motions as the conversation, and I can pick out 2 people on this panel that I know this is dear heart to them. Either they've been touched, didn't report it because maybe it was a family member, not some stranger. The family member was probably popular in the family. And that's where the fear came in at. So you got to understand when you're dealing with people with these types of subjects, if you're neutral to it, you can have a conversation with it. But if it's personal, it's different. And you got to understand that. Even with the shout outs or not paying attention, you got to look at the body language. I deal with this every day. And then, Chaotic, it's not just men. I got women in my house right now who've been touched by women. Some of the hardest thing for them to even discuss more than a man. I guess you could do the reverse thing. If a man been touched by another man, he don't want to discuss that, but he'll say he been touched by a woman. So that just shows the psyche, how the mind works. So when you start having these kind of conversations, sometimes the outbursts and sometimes the not listening or paying attention, sometimes that could be because they're hurt, man. They have to get quiet in silence. And I probably don't have probably about close to 200 people in the last year and a half in and out of my house. And this is an issue in our community, man. It's been a condition in our community, been going a long time. And I can tell you personally, 2 people in my family been touched, one by a man and one by a woman. So I take this very serious, these conversations. I don't even try to joke with this type of conversation in no kind of way. Because I know it ruins life, ruins family. And when you come to the part of campus on colleges and stuff like that, that's the other part of this conversation. That's the part of the conversation that you got adults should be accountable for their action. I worked in the movie industry, man. We have roles for nuns and women come there. They dress so short, you can count their pubic hairs. So what I'm trying to say, man, when you start talking about that level of assault, that's a different conversation versus a kid. Sometimes kids are real scared to report stuff. I had codes with my daughter and I had codes with my nieces. But one niece just didn't report it because even though she had a code, she was scared. She wasn't even scared that nobody was going to believe her. She was scared of the person who did it to her, who was a family member. So I just wanted to say that. I hope I ain't suck out the air in the room. But I thought something serious needs to be said about this. Thank you.
Thank you, OG.
We appreciate that. Thank you, OG.
I'm telling you, chaotic is more prevalent than you believe, than you think, bro. I'm telling you, it's real.
Again, I'm not arguing its prevalence. What I'm arguing is what the beautiful, lovely Candace Owens said. This Me Too movement has created a climate where every man is guilty. And what I am saying is, if that is going to be the case, then men should take preventative measures. I'm not arguing with you guys about whether these things happen on a personal basis inside the home. I agree with you, mate.
But see, what you're missing in the conversation.
But see, we brought children into it
with Candace Owens and these talking points with Me Too, and nobody is disputing that. That's not the issue. What I'm saying is that if you really want to do a deeper dive to solve for the problem, it's not whether or not you can walk down the aisle with a cashier. The deeper problem and the foundation of how we got here is not just based off of women empowerment, is all I'm saying.